Good afternoon, everyone. It's Monday. I'm trying to do things that are normal for this channel, but I keep getting derailed by your messages about Instagram Live, which I'm well aware of and taking care of. So at some point, I'll figure this all out. But everything is good on my end. Don't worry about me. So, you guys, I'm like slightly obsessed with polygamy. I don't know why. Maybe it's that it's an archaic idea that was designed by a man, that one man and a million women, as many women as they can get, as they can have, will go to heaven. And the more wives a man has, they have a bigger place in heaven or something. I have no idea. Their place in the kingdom, the celestial kingdom. So, I am intrigued by this patriarchal, misogynistic form of marriage where women have nothing more than property to men and bear children for their kingdom. And the show Sister Wives tries to make it look normal, but I think over the years we've learned how dysfunctional this family is and how dysfunctional the whole process and the world of polygamy can be. If you're not like completely into polygamy or you don't know anything about it, you have to check out Flora Jessup's. She did a show on TLC where she helped people flee polygamy and flee the FLDS, which is the Fundamental Church of Latter-day Saints. The very fundamental group out of Utah, which was headed by Warren Jeffs, who's now in prison. And ever since I read a book by one of his former wives called The Witness Wore Red, I have been absolutely like, her name was Rebecca, one of Warren Jeffs' wives. I've been obsessed with polygamy. So I've watched all the polygamy shows. And this show, I'm sort of like at this point where this family, I don't even know if they like each other, to be honest. I don't know that any of the wives get along. They might on some respects, but I don't know that they actually get along very well. But there seems to be this like massive thing going on between Meri and Kody right now. And I know people say, oh, Meri and Kody, they've been like having issues since she got catfished and she fell in love online. Because in polygamy, it's okay for a man to have as many women and courting relationships with as many women as possible. But the audacity of a woman to try to find a happiness with a partner that fulfills all of her needs instead of having to share the crumbs that the man gives the wife in polygamy, that fractured their relationship, and just Kody can't just trust her. Kody can't trust her anymore, you guys. So the newest season, it's been off the air for a while. The last season aired last spring in 2018, and they just announced finally last week that the new season will start on January 5th. So TLC made the announcement, and this is what they say in the synopsis for what we can expect for this upcoming season. So it says, the Sister Wives have just moved to Flagstaff, Arizona, where they find that the ups and downs of their family's polygamous lifestyle are as dramatic as they've ever been. Angry neighbors drive one wife out of their rental house, and the cost of the many properties the family needs Kody's 4 wives and many kids are threatening a financial disaster. Isn't financial disaster been like the ongoing thread of their lives since the show has been on air? In hopes of reducing this burden, Kody makes plans for the whole family to build one giant house, but the wives are not so sure. And an argument erupts when the Browns try to divide up their new property. Tensions with the first wife, Meri, are still unresolved, and she goes back into therapy with Kody to try to fix their relationship. Of course, there's much to celebrate as well. Meri's daughter, Mariah, and her girlfriend, Audrey, get engaged. Janelle's daughter, Madison, has a second baby, and that's basically what they're looking for, okay? So we know that last season, Kody was talking about building this monstrosity of a house where all of the wives would live together. Now, they bought this property on this place called Coyote Passing in Flagstaff, Arizona, and he developed this. He like had this blueprint, and all the wives were going to live in one house. They haven't lived in shared houses in forever, and the cities, like the women's houses that they're renting. So Christine actually, when they moved to Flagstaff, Christine purchased her home because she has pets and she could not find a rental for her pets. So she purchased a home. Robin, Meri, and Janelle all rented. Now, when Robin and Meri moved into their places, they actually the landlords were in the process of selling it. So Meri and Robin have actually had to move recently. So it's likely that one of the neighbors forcing them to move is either Meri or Robin, in this case for the synopsis. Robin and Kody just plunked down almost $1 million on a house in Flagstaff, which has like 5 bedrooms, and it's got a bunch of property, and it's like, almost 5,000 square feet. Meri recently rented a 44,000 or 5,000 square foot home where she pays rent of $4,500 a month. Ugh. And Meri has no kids now, just so you know. She's living pretty much by herself because I imagine Kody isn't spending much time with her, being that Kody seems to favor first wife or legal wife Robin more than all the other ladies. So, what pop culture thinks with this synopsis is they said that Kody floated the idea of having them all living together. Okay, this is what Soap Dirt reported. They said, Robin and Meri both have moved from their initial rental homes with their landlords already selling their properties. One of those would most likely be the one that ends up moving as a result of their neighbor's urgency. They also had issues with filming. So apparently, the moving might also be a factor related to filming because the rental properties were not allowing some of the wives to film last year. So Robin's house had been used as a place for filming. Now that they have 2 homes that they own, both Robin and Christine, both of those homes could very well end up being places where the next season will be filmed. Some of the landlords did not agree to have the homes being on camera. So what's happened in the last year that, like, in social media, it's been kind of wild. Like, Madison had her daughter, and her daughter was Evie, who was born with a rare genetic disorder where she has issues with some of her limbs growth and like with her legs and with growth with her arms and her legs and her digits on her fingers and her toes. And then you've got Mariah, who's in Chicago with her now fiance, who's in college. She's sort of on this like health and wellness kick. You've got Meri with LuLaRoe, traveling all over the world, conning women to buy into her like pyramid scheme, going on trips. She has been traveling everywhere in the last few months. Like she's in Utah all the time. She was in Utah last week hosting a family reunion for her family, and Kody wasn't there in any of the photos, nor were any of the sister wives. There's been speculation that Meri is actually taking the steps to leave the family. One of Christine's, I think, aunts. So Christine's aunt was formerly in the world of polygamy, and she actually left the polygamous world after many years. And she said that what Meri's doing, she talked to Radar Online and I believe In Touch, and she said that what she sees with Meri right now is that she's taking the steps to separate from the family, but it's a really hard process. And I actually spoke to someone who is from that area that sort of understands the polygamy lifestyle, and that not only would by Meri leaving the family would she be sort of putting like the way they have it with their faith, if she walks away from the family, she's like basically giving up her place in heaven and like could be going to hell. And then there's shunning that happens from the society of once you leave the lifestyle, people within the lifestyle will not talk to you. You don't have access to the family members. You sort of have to give up all of it. And then they said there is the aspect of affecting Kody's eternity in heaven. Lots of brainwashing that's going on here, but Meri seems to be taking steps towards independence. So it'll be interesting to see if she follows that path. Christine's aunt who left says that Meri seems to be following that same footpath, that same blueprint that she followed. And interestingly, she said that Christine is miserable too. Now, I don't know how relevant that is because according to the aunt, she doesn't talk to them, but she's said from an outside looking in, it appears that both Christine and Meri are miserable. Now, Christine is also hustling the LuLaRoot as well. They're always on their Instagram pages hawking all of their clothing garb, which is completely overpriced, and you can buy for super cheap at a thrift store now because nobody wants to buy it. So it'll be interesting to see if LLR plays a role in here, if her trips play a role in here, or if it's all going to be focused on the family. And I wonder how fake all of it's going to be, because I have this like idea in my mind, and I don't know if this is true, but in my brain, I think that Kody literally doesn't have a relationship with any of the other women except for Robin and then maybe Janelle, because Janelle actually posts photos with Kody. Like they went out to ice cream a couple weeks ago. They were both down in North Carolina when Madison gave birth. So she still has some sort of relationship with Kody. I don't know how intimate, but he seems to always be with Robin. And I think that's like his, legal wife and favorite wife at this point. So in my mind, I really feel like Robin's the only wife that matters. And the rest of them are just whatever at this point. Old, and in his mind, old, and their uteruses don't work anymore. But Robin still has a uterus that's working. But she's getting old too, so he might have to get a fifth wife. God damn those uteruses, Like, they're only good for so long in the polygamy world. That's why they have to marry younger and younger and younger. So he's very, and that's not a dig at any older women. I am in my 40s. I get it. I'm just saying that, they like to procreate in this world. So, he is going to probably have to get another wife to keep his kingdom of celestial heaven going. All right, so if Meri's leaving, then maybe they can bring a new wife in. Who knows? I'll be interested to see how it all plays out versus what we're actually seeing online, because Meri hasn't even posted a photo of Kody on social media since January of 2019. Think about that. 10 months ago is the last time she posted a photo with him. That's wild. So I'm going to wonder how fake this is going to be. If you think it's fake, let me know in the comments. Are you looking forward to season 14? Do you even care? I will tell you that I can't wait to share with you what I found about the Plath family who is on Welcome to Plathville, and I'll be doing that stream in just a little while. So hang tight and come on back for Olivia Plath's Instagram and all the juicy details. Bye, guys.